over the moon to be here with Mickey and the gang underneath the shimmering spires of Space Mountain as we celebrate the 50th anniversary of Tomorrowland's most out-of-this-world attraction.
So Donna, I think it's time to blast off to many more years of excitement, inspiration, and family memories.
Roger that, Shannon. All right, gang, we're ready to launch. Wait a minute. Look who just landed. It's astronaut Donald. Hi, pal. Hi, pal. Donald, you're just in time. We're a go for launch. Mission control, commence countdown.
4, 3, 2, 1! Happy anniversary, Space Mountain!
So my favorite Space Mountain memory, when I was first hired here, I was working in the Magic Kingdom as an engineer, and my first job assignment was to go work on Space Mountain. I remember coming in that morning, walking through the park where there were only cast members in there, and walking up to Space Mountain, looking up at Space Mountain, thinking, oh my gosh, I can't believe I get to do this for a living.
My favorite memory of Space Mountain is when I was here on the college program many years ago and they let us ride it with the lights on. It was amazing.
My favorite memories riding Space Mountain are every single time that I can ride it with my family. Every time we come to the parks, it's the first ride that we want to ride. And it's just always so much fun and so magical. And I personally love whenever we get to pose for the photos because we've done it so many times, we know when the camera turns on. And it's just always magical. We love it. When my sister was little, she wanted to ride Space Mountain so badly, but she was never quite tall enough. And she remembers, we were talking about this last night, so vividly when she was tall enough to ride Space Mountain, and it was like the best day ever.
My first memory of going on Space Mountain, I had two older brothers. I still have them, as a matter of fact, Jason and Jeff. And they raved about going on this ride. And I was 10 years and 8 years younger than both of them. And I remember my dad dragging me onto Space Mountain for the first time. Must have been 6 years old, so like 1987. And I'm young. And I was scared at first. And then getting off of it, I was absolutely exhilarated. The Space Mountain was my rite of passage into all of the thrill attractions that I now long to go on every time I go to a Disney park. So thank you, Space Mountain, for breaking me in.
almost every year, we would drive from Michigan to Florida in 24 hours. My dad would say, okay, time, we got to go on all the rides. There was no time to chicken out. And I remember that first time I was tall enough to ride Space Mountain, I was terrified, but then within 60 seconds, I was electrified. Both of my boys, 6 and 8, got to ride Space Mountain for the first time this year. And I have to say, they talk about it regularly, especially my 8-year-old. He wants to go on every Space Mountain ever so he can compare them. He loves it.
La primera vez que me subí en Space Mountain, me acuerdo de esa salida como con luces azules y moradas y yo decía como, ya, o sea, literal, voy a arrancar al espacio con esa bolita al fondo que como es la primera vez sientes que te vas a chocar y de repente ¡buf! Agarra y es todos los vacíos, no sé, demasiado emocionante. Fue hace mucho tiempo porque fui mucho más chiquita, pero sentí que me iba a ir hacia el espacio.
El primer recuerdo que tengo del Space Mountain fue cuando tenía 6 años, fue la primera vez que fui a los parques y bueno, estaba súper emocionado porque el Space Mountain fue la primera montaña rusa de grandes a la que me subí, entonces me sentía yo un niño grande y fue espectacular. La verdad que para mí sentirme en ese viaje en el espacio siendo un niño de 6 años fue algo mágico y hasta hoy en día cada vez que vuelvo y me vuelvo a subir al Space Mountain vuelvo a ser ese niño de 6 años viajando al espacio. Así que gracias Space Mountain.
Space Mountain siempre fue mi montaña rusa favorita. Tengo muchísimos recuerdos ahí con mi familia y me acuerdo muchísimo que mi hermana y yo siempre nos peleábamos por quién se iba a subir con mi papá para salir con mi papá en la foto.
De los recuerdos más hermosos y espectaculares que tengo de Disney es haberme subido al Space Mountain. Así que empezamos la cuenta regresiva para su 50 aniversário.
A Disney sempre fez parte da minha vida, da minha adolescência, da minha vida adulta e hoje dos meus filhos adolescentes. Eu lembro que a primeira vez que eu fui na Space foi por causa das crianças, porque eu tenho um pouquinho de medo de montanha-russa, nunca tinha ido, elas foram. Aí os 3 piraram. Mamãe é o máximo, mamãe você tem que ir. Eu ali engoli meu medo, me tomei de coragem e fui. Quando eu saí eu ficava assim, vamos de novo, vamos de novo, vamos de novo. Então, olha aqui, ó.
Oi, amores! Larissa Manoela aqui, passando para compartilhar uma memória que eu guardo no meu coração junto com a Space Mountain, que tá fazendo aniversário. Gente, a primeira vez que eu estive nos parques da Disney, quando eu tinha 13 anos, eu tava muito a fim de ir em todas as montanhas russas. E a primeira que eu fui foi a Space Mountain. E ainda me surpreendi, porque essa montanha russa, além de ser uma delícia, ela é no escuro. Então eu estava preparada para todo tipo de montanha-russa, só que eu não sabia que essa ia me surpreender tanto. Então eu fiquei tão feliz. Fui mais de uma vez, porque, gente, quando a gente se apaixona numa atração, a gente quer repetir. E já repeti muitas vezes, né, as idas aos parques. E essa atração tem o meu coração, gente. Toda vez que eu entro parece que é uma emoção diferente. Então, sou apaixonada e tô aqui para desejar um feliz aniversário.
Oi, pessoal, eu sou o Thiago Abravanel e eu vim aqui contar a minha história com o Space Mountain. Uma das atrações mais especiais para mim, porque lembra muito a minha infância. Space Mountain talvez tenha sido a primeira montanha-russa que eu fui na minha vida. E um dos maiores prazeres que eu sinto na minha vida até hoje, ao chegar na Disney, é poder levar quem nunca foi para Space Mountain. É uma experiência que, mesmo fazendo 50 anos, ainda marca a vida de todo mundo que tem a oportunidade de viajar pelo espaço nessa atração tão especial. Então, que a gente comemore e celebre esses 50 anos por muitos e muitos outros anos. Obrigado, Space Mountain, e até a próxima viagem.